Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Uh, can you please confirm the slides are visible
Yes, ma'am.
and my voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. I am Ashmita Das, a PMRF research scholar from IIT Guwahati. I am going to take a live session on the problem solving session on the subject that is BT44 Introduction to Biostatistics. So today is the week 2 and is there in this particular problem solving session we are considering the problem of square standard mean error z square or as well as the box plot. So now going to the first question. So the first question is if x is the mean and sigma is the standard deviation, then at least what percentage of the measured population would lie between x plus 3 sigma and x minus 3 sigma. So can anyone tell what law will be applicable on how we can solve this particular question? Anyone?
I think we use the Chebyshev's theorem.
Yeah. And any other?
It will be 89 percentage.
Okay, no, I am asking about the what theorem can be applicable here. I'm not asking about the answer.
Chebyshev's theorem.
Okay. So rest who are not able to answer it, the correct we use the Chebyshev's theorem or the Chebyshev's inequality theorem. So basically the Chebyshev's inequality theorem helps to estimate the minimum proportionate of measured population that fall within a specified number of standard deviation from the mean. So if there is any normal distribution, so that time it can able to find like the what amount of data of the population of a particular population can be present in a particular region. So the Chevy's interval is referred to the interval that you want to find using this theorem. So basically here if we see the in the current question we want to find out uh, the interval that is the 3 value that is the up to 3 sigma. So here the Chebyshev interval is plus 3 to minus 3. So k value for according to the theorem is 3. So if we follow the theorem, so the theorem is x the measured population of at a particular measured sample of a particular population will lie within the if it's lie within x plus or minus k sigma, then it's supposed to be the value is 1 minus the fraction should be lie in that particular of a population should be 1 minus 1 by k square. So as per this particular question we found that k equals to 3. So the measured population would lie within x square plus minus 3 sigma. So if we follow the formula, it's come around 0.889 or 89%. So my question is uh, if we have to consider uh, Chebyshev, if we have to find the fraction of the measured population between x plus 6 sigma to x plus 6 x minus 6 sigma. So what will be the fraction then?
97%.
Yes. Anyone else?
Percentage. 97.2 percentage.
Okay. Anyone else?
%97.2%.
Okay. So, anyone have any doubt in this particular question? No, right? So, can I move to the next question? Okay.
Okay, madam.
Okay. So, here the answer is D, that is 89%. So, the next question is what is the approximate relation between the standard deviation and the range? So, what?
Range is equal to 4 into SD. D is the answer, madam.
D is the answer.
Okay. So, how can you say that is the from what theorem or what theory can you get this is the correct relation? Okay, so can anyone tell me what is the answer is range equal to 4 into SD. Okay, so how can you tell that is this is the actual correct answer? From which theory you get this answer?
I think we get this from approximating Chebyshev's theorem.
Not a Chebyshev theorem. I don't think tell the range or relationship between standard deviation. It is too vaguely related. Okay, so the answer is the range rule, which is applicable here. So the range rule is basically it shows that the standard deviation equals to the maximum value of the dataset minus the minimum value of the dataset divided by the 4. So that is basically the range. So but in this case the range is not the actual value, it is give the approximate one. So I want you to solve this particular question and tell me the range and standard deviation of this particular question. And how can you, what is the value of the, if we find the standard deviation in a, using the standard deviation formula and what we get from this particular formula.
Range is 13.
3.25.
Sorry. And what is the actual, if we did the, if we do the actual standard deviation, what will be the standard deviation then?
0.25.
Sorry, your voice is not clear. Can you just repeat the answer, please?
3.25.
3.25. Okay. So it's
Standard
according.
deviation is 3.25. Range is 13.
13.
Okay, so
Range.
it's according to this formula, right? So I am telling the standard deviation actual formula. So I think if you remember what is the actual formula of the standard deviation. So can anyone tell me what is the actual formula of the standard deviation? Okay, so what is the mean of this particular data set?
13. 1
Sorry?
3 13.
17. Mean is 17.
Yeah, mean is 17. So now tell me what is the standard deviation?
Madam, the standard deviation is root over 106 by 9. Square root of 106 by 9.
So can
4.05 is the standard deviation.
yeah, the standard deviation is 4.05, and from here your standard deviation get is 3.25. So it's not give the exact standard deviation. The asking you to solve this particular question to show you that there is a like a difference, quite a few difference between the standard deviation obtained for this formula and the standard deviation obtained for the actual formula. So here you can get the approximation like either it's between 2 to 3 or like what will be the range, but you cannot get the exact value of the standard deviation. So if we get a like question to find out the standard deviation in your end term paper, if it's better mention that if you asking for the approximate value, then using this formula is fine, but they are asking for the actual standard deviation, then you have to go for the formula which is given in the previous problem doubt solving session. So now, so the relation is range equals to 4 into standard deviation. So now, so the z square, what is the z score and what is the role of the z score in a data set? Anyone? What is z score?
Outlier.
Outliers.
Yeah. So what is the z score? So z score are also known as standard score. So it's basically describe the position of a raw data point in terms of a distance from the mean. So if if the z square, if we found that the value is range present in the range between plus 1 sigma, so we can say it is the value uh, is present in the distance of sigma from mean. So that is the basic purpose of using z square. So z square has two formula. In the case of population, it gives x minus mu by sigma, and in the case of sample, it gives x minus x bar by s. So this is the two primary difference. So here is the outlier. So can you tell me what will be the z value required to consider it is a outlier? The next question is similar one. So can everyone tell me what is the value of z score required to consider a particular data point is an outlier?
Plus minus 3.
More than 3.
Plus minus 3.
Okay. So now can you please solve this question and tell me the value? What is the z score of this particular question?
X is not an outlier. B is the answer.
Okay. Now I am asking about the z score. What is the z score value?
Plus 1. Z score is plus
Z
1.
score plus 1.
Yeah.
X minus X bar by SD.
Yeah. So the z score value is z equals to capital X, that is the value of the data which is supposed to measure, minus the mean of the data set divided by the standard deviation. So here if we input the value, it comes as 1. So as we consider that the outlier, if we consider a particular data value is outlier if the z score is greater than 3. So in this particular case, X is not an outlier. So I want to just want to little bit modify this question. Can anyone tell me the if the uh, mean of the data set is 17 and standard deviation is uh, 9, and then what will be the value of 65? Like, is it an outlier or not?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
Mean is 17.17. Standard deviation is uh,
9.
9, and the value of the data set is uh, 65.
It is outlier.
Yeah, so what is the z square value then?
5.3.
5.33.
Okay. So I think it's this question is pretty clear. So this will be a like mostly coming in the end sem exam, so it will be helpful. So next, so here X is not an outlier. So now, so can anyone tell me what is this? What will be this? What the correct answer of this question?
C is the right answer.
Answer. C is the answer.
Okay. So in this case, what is the normal distribution in these three pictures? First one is the A, second one is the B, and third one is the C.
Ma'am, please repeat the question, madam.
I am asking the what is the pictorial representation of normal distribution among these three pictures?
The
Actually,
middle one.
left. No, left one is the normal distribution. Left one.
Okay, so who all the tell that is the left one is the normal distribution, and who also say the mid? Like first tell me who all on the say the left one is the normal distribution picture. Can you react? I think there react option is there or not?
The left one is perfectly normal distribution. The other two are near normal.
So what is that? Then what is the like middle picture depict? What type of distribution is this?
Skewed.
Which type of school?
Skewness to the right.
Okay. And the left one? And the right most one.
It is again skewed, but skewness to the left.
Okay, so the first picture is basically a normal distribution or the symmetric distribution. It means the the both side are like it's a mirror image of one part into the other section. If we just divide into two section, the highest point here is the mean, and it is also the as the frequency of this point is highest as per this graph, so it is the mode, and it is the central value, so it's a median. So because of this reason, the mean, median, mode, the symmetric distribution are usually equal. Where in the case the second picture, it is the positively skewed distribution. In the case of this particular picture, the mean is the lowest and the mode is the highest. Whereas in the case of uh, uh, left skewed picture, it is the similar one. Here the mean is also lowest and the mode is the highest. So in this particular case, the answer is mean is equal to mode is equal to median. So the next question. So what type of correlation is this? Can you tell me what is correlation? Hello.
Correlation is the relation of x variable with y variable.
Okay. So what type of relation is this?
Positive correlation.
Okay. So
Yes, positive correlation.
Okay.
why are you
This is
telling
a
this one?
negative correlation.
Okay. So whoever tells positive correlation, can you explain what you call it as a positive correlation? And whoever told it's a negative correlation, can you explain why it is a negative correlation?
As the y variable are increasing along with x variable, both variable are increasing, then hence it is
And why it is a negative correlation?
positive correlation.
I guess someone has said it's a negative correlation. Can you tell me why you consider it is a negative correlation? Yes.
Then it is positive correlation.
Okay. So anyone have a think that is a negative correlation and there is no correlation, or any other option other than positive correlation? Anyone is there? Feel free to please tell me that you think it's a negative correlation or something. Is anyone is there?
Madam,
Yes.
please tell me please solve the problem, madam. How to solve this problem? Please explain that thing, madam.
Yeah, I'm explaining that thing only, but I am
Okay,
asking
madam.
that.
Okay, 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 okay. Thank you, madam.
Okay, so in this particular case, we are plotting this graph from x versus y. This is a simple one because we are not finding any correlation coefficient in this particular problem or in a particular. So the best way to like that plot, if we have any scratch paper, just point approximately and show the trend. In this case, the trend is in the upward direction. So as the x value is increasing, the y value is also increasing. And other than that, you can consider like the interval of x, like if we consider like the how if the interval of x is constant, but in the case of y value the interval is keep on increasing. So from these two things you can come to the conclusion it is going to the it going towards a positive correlation. But wherever if we get in a equation like in a line in this direction, then what will be the value in this case? So if the graph in this direction, according to the pointer, so what relation is this then?
Negative.
Negative relation.
Okay, and if the points are scattered like here, here, somewhere around,
C is the right answer. No correlation between X and Y.
okay, and then what will be the weak? Then what is the relation between negative correlation and weak negative correlation? Is any idea? From the graph itself, I'm not asking for the as per the value of the correlation coefficient, but according to the graph, can you now tell me what is the difference, minor difference between negative correlation and weak negative correlation?
If there are outliers, maybe then there is a weak negative correlation.
Yeah, like suppose it is a strong positive correlation. If we consider this is a weak positive correlation, that sometimes the some points are here, some points are there. Here it's increasing, but the increasing it's not like according to the straight line or any. They are follow any particular pattern. They are like some values are increasing, some values are decreasing. From that point of view, we consider this uh, from that particular plot we can consider it is a positive correlation or a negative correlation. So in this particular case it is a positive correlation. So now the next question, I want to find out the approximate value of the standard deviation as well as the actual value of the standard deviation for this particular question. Actual values or the approximate value is already given.
Actual value 10, 36, 58, 77, 111 মিনটা আসছে 5 দিয়ে তাহলে 22.2 হলো মিন এক্স বার হলো 22.2 আচ্ছা আর স্ট্যান্ডার্ড ডেভিয়েশন এসটি প্রাইস ধরো এটাকে
9.18.
Anyone else?
Sorry, it's 8.84.
Please, whoever solving the question, mute it and tell me the answer, the final answer.
root over 78.25.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
7.91.
The value comes around 8.85. Okay. Like, you just write down the question and cross check once and tell me in the next class if you're not getting it right now. Because some variation is there. So I am telling you, try one more time and then tell me the next class. Okay. Now you can move to the next question. Yeah. So for a population that is normally distributed, the first and the third quartile are 25 and 65. What is the value of the median? So can anyone tell me what type of plot is this? Any idea?
Box is there.
Okay. So what is this point? This one and this one? These 2 points.
Minimum and maximum
Upper
values.
extreme.
Sorry?
Minimum value and the maximum value.
Yeah, these two are the extreme points, the maximum value and the minimum value data set. So, and what is the quartile in a general, like as a definition wise, what is quartile?
Quartile contains 25% of population.
Yeah, if we consider the total population as 100 and divide it into the 4 sections, the first part it is known as quartile 1 or the first quartile, second one is the quartile 2 and third one is the quartile 3. So, what is the relation with the median and the quartile? Any idea?
In a normal distribution, second quartile will be equivalent to the median. In a normal distribution like this data set.
Okay. So in other cases, quartile is not equal to the median.
Yes, madam. It may not be equal to the median.
And what is interquartile range?
Q3 minus Q1.
Minus Q1.
Q3 minus Q1.
Okay. And how can you find from a data set what is the quartile term? Like you have n number of data points. From here, can you consider find out which will be your quartile value?
Madam, I have to arrange the values in ascending order,
Okay.
and then I have to know the total, the number of the total number of values. How
Yes.
many data are there?
Okay.
Then for determining the Q1, I have to apply 0.25 into n plus 1.
Hmm.
For Q1, it is 0.25 into n plus 1. And for
Hmm.
Q3, it is 0.75 into n plus 1.
Okay. And for Q2?
Q2, it is zero point 0.5 into n plus 1. That is the standing of that is the position of the data. This will determine the position of the data in
So
that
basic.
particular.
So basically, the quartile value I'm finding from the equation, that is n plus 1 into 1 by 4 for first quartile, from second quartile n plus 1 into 2 by 4, and then for upper quartile or third quartile, that is n plus 1 into 3 by 4. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Hello, ma'am. There's a question.
yeah.
Okay, is quartile is applicable to positive integers only?
Sorry.
Is quartile is applicable to data set having positive integers?
Yeah.
Only for integers, na?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So in this particular question, the Q1 is 25 and Q3 is 65. So as I find it is a normally distributed, so that I consider the distribution is symmetrical. So the median is basically the sum of first and third quartile divided by 2. From this particular formula, we'll get the median value. It is in the only case where we get the value is symmetrical, distribution is symmetrical, or the normal distribution is there. Okay, anyone have any doubt? If the quartile one is suppose 34, or quartile 3 is 69, then what will be the value of the median for a normal distribution?
Please repeat more.
Okay, so the first quartile value is 34 and the third quartile value is 69. So then what will be, and the data are normally distributed, so what will be the value for uh, the median?
51.5.
1.5.
Okay, but 51.5. So is it required that if we get 51.51 and 52, so what will be your preference then?
Can you please
As
repeat?
per the data set, if we get, it's a like negative number of data set, like odd number of data set, and you get 52, so will it be also acceptable or not? As like you, when you find the median according to the manually from the data set.
Madam, I have to take the average of the two adjacent findings in that
We have
case.
the odd number of data set, right?
If you have odd number of data set, then we will get the.
And here you find it 51.5, and there you just from the data set you find it as a 52. So what will consider then?
52 will be the median value in that case.
Okay. So the next question here is the 45 is the answer. So standard error of mean. So what can it, anyone tell me what is the relation between standard error of mean and what is standard error of mean? Any idea?
Madam,
ST by square root of n.
So I am asking the definition. So standard error of mean is the same, is basically the like the sample average and how it is likely or it is similar to the population mean. So how the discrepancy is there, if the discrepancy is there, so how much is discrepancy? So measuring that particular purpose, we use the standard error of mean. So basically if a population is there, we can find two means. One is the sample mean. If we consider as in the previous class we said, if we consider a particular subset from a population, it is known as the sample. So from the sample, if we find out the mean, and if we consider the whole population and find out its mean, so how these two means are related to each other, or whether there are discrepancy, how much discrepancy is there. So measuring that particular value, we mainly use this uh, standard of error of mean question for like for quantifying this we use the standard error of mean. So the formula of the standard error of mean is standard deviation divided by root n. So standard root n is the total number of data values or the number of population. So there from this particular equation we find that the standard error of mean is 6. So 36 root over by 36 is equal to 6. So if the population the standard deviation is 36 and you consider that n is 81, so what will be the value then for standard error of mean?
4. It will be 4 in that case.
Madam. 4, madam. Answer is 4.
Okay.
It will be 4. It
Okay.
will be 4.
Okay. So anyone have any question?
Yeah, I have a question, ma'am.
Yes.
So the standard error of mean, will it lie within the range of confidence interval?
Yeah, standard error of mean is usually lie in uh, the range of the confidence interval, and it is always smaller than the standard deviation value, like the population standard deviation value.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, how can we identify X is an outlier or not?
Okay, so as I say, Z score is the method to they found that X is an outlier or not. So from this particular question, yeah. So if you have a data set and you have a value, so from that case,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have to find the mean of that particular population, the standard deviation of that particular population. Then you have to find the Z score value. And if the Z score value is greater than 3, then we have to consider this value is a outlier.
Ma'am, written,
Sorry,
ma'am, written what?
hello.
Yes, please repeat the last sentence.
Okay, so you have a data set then and you have a value. So first you have to calculate the mean of the data set as well as the standard deviation of the data set, and then you have to use the formula of the z-score. So here is the formula of the z-score, and if the z-score value is greater than 3, then we consider this value is an outlier, and if it's less than 3, then we consider it's not an outlier.
Madam, I have one question.
Yes.
If the
Okay,
Z
ma'am.
score,
Thank you.
if the Z score is less than -3, that also will be an outlier,
Yes.
and that will lie
Yes.
below the lower fence.
Yes. Yes.
If
Both
it
in
is
the case
less,
of plus
yes,
minus
on
3.
either side, plus
Huh.
minus 3.
Plus minus
Z score plus minus anything,
because
plus
the
minus
z-score the
can be
calculation
on either side.
yeah, because the z-score calculation is the actual formula is z equals to mod of x minus x bar by s. So here itself the z-score you always get a positive value. So that because of this reason we consider as a 3, like in a positive side only. Because of this mod the plus minus sign will be removed.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so anyone have any other question? Hello?
Madam,
Yes.
can you explain what is kurtosis?
So, okay, I'll explain the next class because I don't have that graph, or I'll explain the next class. So, what's your name?
Dr. Ratnakumari, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll explain. You please attend the next session. I will explain it in the after
Okay,
the
thank you,
discussion of
ma'am.
the problem. Okay. Anyone else?
Ma'am, what is meant by confidence interval?
Confidence interval, like if you doing any experiments, so confidence interval is like that. What the values up to which extent, up to which standard deviation you consider the value for your experimental purpose. That is the vague meaning of confidence interval. It either can be plus one.
Okay, ma'am.
So it's a vaguely like how much data you consider for your experiment purpose, like up to which standard deviation, how dispersion you take in a data set.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, okay, I am ending this session now. Thank you for joining, and I am also uploaded this video in a YouTube channel. I'll share the link of the YouTube channel in the next class. Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.